Okay, so today we're going to be doing something different. I got a request to read a fan fiction. It's called The Head by Mushroompone. It's got some pretty crazy tags. Gore, suicide, self-harm, death, dark horror, tricksy, starlight, glimmer, and Ocellus. The description is, on a chilly morning in early October, Ocellus came to class without a head. That is definitely a synopsis. So generally the way I do reviews is I will watch the entire episode of something or listen to the entire performance or read the entire fic. But on more in-depth reviews, I like to add comments as I go along. You could argue that I guess breaks up the pacing, but usually if something is paced really well, I will forget that I'm reviewing and I will just continue to watch or read whatever I'm doing. So I would like to do this one like that. I'm gonna start it and hopefully it's a good one. Okay, so this is school was dismissed not by the headmaster, not by the vice headmaster, but by Trixie, the guidance counselor, who seemed to somehow have the best head on her shoulders in the midst of the situation. All right, that's very punny. She prodded it slowly down the hall like a brainless goat, only making small sounds of displeasure as she did, as if it were a student with a nosebleed, as if she were picking up dog crap. Okay, that's definitely more lines. Why is Starlight searching for the head under desks if the EMT said crushing? Probably that the head was crushed and the body tried to pull it out. That's strange. Yeah, this just seems to be like chicken head cut off. It's like, no, that was silly. Ocellus had died when her head was crushed in the bleachers. The body would die of thirst, and it wouldn't die. It wasn't even alive. It would just stop like a flashlight with a dead battery. It just seems like chicken with the head cut off. That's what I'm gathering from this. I'm really confused. This is Starlight talking, and it's like, you're telling me that this echo of Ocellus, of my student, is going to wander around for a week or more trying to come back to life? Starlight tapped her hoof firmly on her desk with each spat out word. That is unimaginably cruel. Unthinkably cruel. That's torture to no end. But there's no mind. That's not... If there's no mind to think, then, like this Elytra said, it's just instinct. It's just chicken head cut off. This is really weird. It just seems macabre for the sake of macabre. One of the changelings is just like, you should be... She's like, it's a luxury. You should be happy you have to watch the body. And why? I'll keep going. Wait, I'm really confused. It says Starlight went stiff as one of its hooves brushed up against her. Feather light, still warm with life, still pumping blood. Wouldn't the blood have been drained from the severed head part? Or, dude, I don't... Okay. So, let me give a little quick rundown on my horror interests, pasts, and stuff. I love horror. I love creepypastas. I love horror movies. I love horror in general. One of my favorite games, like, ever is Dead by Daylight, which is essentially just all of the horror in a game. It has Michael Myers, it has Freddy Krueger, it has Pinhead, the Cenobite, it has Alien, it has video games like Resident Evil and Silent Hill, which are both amazing too. I love Fatal Frame, Alan Wake, The Evil Within. I could list off just for days all of like my favorite horror things. I even have from Dead by Daylight, I have a Legion mask and a knife, like replicas. I love horror. One of the killers that just came out for that game is called the Unknown. He's basically the Crooked Man from basically creepypastas, and there was a discussion going on about him,
and whether or not he was scary. And one of the things that you have to understand with horror, or that you have to do with horror, is immerse yourself. Immersion is so very important. Even right now, while I'm reading this story, I have YouTube running in the background, and it's on a creepy music compilation. 3-hour creepy music compilation. Scary Halloween music, creepy music mix #1. Because I'm trying to immerse myself into this story and really, really, you know, get into it and feel scared. I want to, it's a horror, gore, like, come on, make me feel scared. So anyways, with this character from Dead by Daylight, the unknown, they're like, he's not scary, he's goofy. And well, yeah, it's when you're playing a game and there's no danger for you really, and nothing is at stake, it's not scary. Realistically, you shouldn't be scared. But if that monster were to tap on your window in the middle of the night or come into your room, that would be terrifying. If you don't immerse yourself into something that is fake, then you're not really going to be scared of a fake thing, because it's fake. It's a movie. What are you afraid of? You're watching a movie, clearly it's fake. You're playing a game, clearly it's fake. Oh, that thing is real and it's outside your door? Now it's not a game anymore and you're scared. That's why even just a person with a knife, not a psycho killer otherworldly demon, is it doesn't have to be that. If somebody taps on your window and they have a knife, that's a bit scary. You may have guns, you may have things to protect yourself, but it's still scary. It's a scary situation because there are things at stake all of a sudden. With this story, what just happened was, I suppose, Ocellus's body started doing something, and then Trixie let it out of the room that it was locked in with Starlight and her. And my main issue right now is Starlight kept the body because she's like, the Elytra person is like, oh, it's our customs and blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I don't care if it's your customs. If your custom was for me to, like, stab myself after I find a dead body, I'm not doing that either. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but your customs are your customs and my customs are my customs. And if your custom is making me uncomfortable, I'm not doing it. Sorry, I'm not doing anything with this body. It's going with you, or it's going some other time. And I don't feel bad about it. I'm not going to do it. So, like, clearly Starlight doesn't want to be with it. She doesn't want it near her, but she's doing it anyways. And, like, it's really, really scummy of the Elytra person to, like, play on Starlight's past, to be like, oh, you've had so much forgiveness in your past. Yeah, that's a bad word move. That's like, you're just being a jerk. So I'm not really scared right now. I'm not really disgusted. It's kind of just like, let's see where this is going still. And hopefully it goes up, because right now I'm kind of just like this. Let me put it this way, though. The writing is impeccable. This author's writing is superb. Everything is like really, 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 really good as far as like structure and dialogue and description and everything. That's like off the charts good. But I'm just not feeling what's happening. I'm not scared. I don't really care what happened. I guess I want to know what happened to Ocellus and why she's dead, but that's about it.
See, this is like a scary movie where it's just like, dude, just let Trixie freaking get caught. Because, like, they're following the body and, like, it goes to the classroom and, like, Starlight is entertaining this madness. And Trixie's like, I'm opening the door. And Starlight's like, I'm the one who's supposed to be watching it. And Trixie's like, well, you're doing it wrong. And it's like, fine, you idiot. I'd just freaking be like, laters. And I'd be like, you watch it then. And I'm going home. This is stupid. Okay, now Trixie's mom had dementia. Sorry that's halfway through the story. And unless that's in canon, which I don't know because I haven't seen season 9. This is getting kind of ridiculous. How am I supposed to feel bad if you're just going to throw at me that Trixie's mom had dementia? Whew. I really don't think you can compare Headless Changeling to a person with dementia. That's not really at all the same. So we get Ocellus's suicide note, and
I have problems with this subject, so I won't dwell on it for long. But let's just say that, wow, she totally said "fuck you" to everyone around her, and Trixie and Starlight are going to feel terrible about this now because Ocellus is basically like, I felt awful and you guys did nothing about it, so I hope you're happy. I can sure see where this is going. Oh, what a surprise. Trixie, we were her friends. We were supposed to help her. No, that's not always true. That's the person who chose this fault. I'm sorry, this fic is going off the rails for me, but I don't agree with morals like this. She's hurting herself, Trixie said pointedly. Can't you see that? She's hurting. It's just a body. It's not her anymore, Trixie. Yeah, so the body, like, a face comes out of its chest and it tells them help. I would have just killed it. Like, to be honest, I would have been like, she's dead. This is done and stupid. I don't care what your dumb culture is, you dumb changeling. This is freaking not natural. For you it is, take her. It's not. I'm not a changeling. I'm not doing this. She made her choice. She chose to kill herself, clearly. And I'm not helping you now. This is your choice. You made this choice, and now you have to, I guess, not live with it, but you have to suffer the repercussions. Ocellus body that exists. So, like, Starlight is a dumb idiot in this story. Here's some dialogue. Starlight waited patiently, but Trixie only stood over her. You okay? Starlight asked. Trixie blinked. She didn't answer. Are you staying here? She asked. Yeah. So, you asked her if she was okay, and she didn't say... I freaking hate ads on YouTube. She asked if Trixie was okay. Trixie didn't say anything. And Starlight's just like, yeah, this isn't traumatizing or anything. I suppose Trixie will be fine. This is fine. It's fine. Are we really waxing philosophical in a story about a headless Ocellus? Okay, sure. So Starlight ends up killing the body? That's what you should have just done to begin with? And this all wouldn't have freaking... Oh my god. Why is she freaking out? It's like nerve endings moving and like just natural reactions. Starlight, you freaking crazy woman. Oh. That was it. The sun was rising. She was just beginning to wonder if she might need to light the stains on fire to truly and finally and completely destroy each and every atom of Ocellus, to at last free her of the damnation she had trapped herself in, when someone knocked on the door. That's... it? Okay, let me get my thoughts together. Well, alright, that was the head, and it was a story? I will be blunt. I just felt nothing at all. There was no discomfort. There was no horror. There was no fear. There was no care. There was nothing as far as, I suppose, what the tags should have made me feel. I rolled my eyes a few times. I don't want to sound like a jerk, so I will say, again, expertly written, description spot on, the dialogue amazing, like, it's just a 10 out of 10 when it comes to, like, how well it is written. This author knows exactly what they're doing. For me, the speed was literally not there. Nothing was there. Summary of what happened. Ocellus' headless body comes to school. Starlight is like, what the crap? They look for the head. They find the head. Their changeling is like, you have to watch the body, Starlight. Starlight is like, okay, I guess I will. Starlight's watching the body. Trixie comes. Trixie's like, it's doing something and it wants to leave. Let's follow it. They follow it. They go to the classroom. They open the door to the classroom and read the letter. It's like, you guys suck. I'm killing myself because I'm sad. The body gets a mouth and eye and says, help me. They go back to the office. Trixie's like, don't stay with it long. Starlight goes nuts and starts freaking destroying the body, which should have been the first thing you do. You rejected their culture, quote unquote, anyways, and was just like, I'm going to destroy this. I guess the knock at the door was maybe her family coming in, and then... Dude, if a freaking horror story makes me laugh, I don't know what to say, and this made me laugh. So, like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, let me check. It is marked as horror. I didn't feel that. It made me laugh. I don't know what to say. Starlight was dumb. She's Trixie's mom trying to work in dementia, which is, dude. Okay, so there's a thing called let me check real quick. So there's a piece of media on everywhere. It's called Everywhere at the End of Time. It is a 6.5-hour long musical performance, a piece of music that a man created. It's to convey the horribleness and the feeling of having dementia. What it is it starts as a beautiful song that you kind of listen to, and as it progresses, it starts to become decayed and decrepit and horrible, and it starts to just become the worst sounding thing you've ever heard. And it literally is one of the most terrifying things I've listened to all 6.5 hours. It is horrifying. It really put into my mind. Prior to this, I did not have I knew dementia was bad, but prior to this song, I had no clue how bad. And when you listen to this song, it really, really, really gets into your brain, and you start to understand just how terrifying and horrible the disease is. And to use that in a short one-shot fic can work. But when you use it offhand, like just so quick, like halfway through the story, Trixie is like, my mom had dementia. It's like, oh, you really, really, really didn't earn that as a writing point. Dementia is a lot more serious than that, and like, that puts an ugly taste in my mouth. The gory descriptions were great, probably the best part of the story, and I've never been a big fan of gore. Stuff like Saw, stuff like Hostel, seen them, don't really care for them. They're not my idea of horror. I don't think gore is scary. I play games like Gears of War and stuff where people are chainsawing people in half and stuff, and it's like, yeah, gore is just gore. It doesn't make me scared. Yes, if I was in a situation where I could have those things done to me, that would be terrifying. But again, if I was in a situation where a man could just punch me in the head that I wasn't even paying attention to, that'd be scary. Jump scares are scary, like, sometimes. This story, I think the best thing I could say about this story, I don't even want to give it a review as far as... I'll give it 2 reviews. I'll give it 2 reviews to be fair, to be completely unbiased. For me, personally, it would be like a 1 out of 5. I didn't feel anything. I didn't think any of it was spectacular. I didn't really care. I didn't care about... I love Glim-Glam. I love Starlight. She is top 3 for me. I am in love with that pony. And I didn't care about her here. I didn't care about her here at all. I was like, okay, can we get this over with? Second review, if this is your type of horror, then I think it's a 5. You probably would enjoy this if this is your type of horror that you enjoy, which is difficult because people enjoy different kinds of horror. You have like slasher horror, like Friday the 13th and Halloween. You have paranormal horror, like Paranormal Activity and what is that one called? Ju-on, The Ring, stuff like that. And then you have like gore horror, and that's stuff like Saw and Hostel. This is like a particular type of horror that I just didn't really, that doesn't mesh well with my style of horror. Moving on from this one, I will post some horror ones coming after this one, some horror reviews, because there have been some really, really, really good horror fics that I've read before, in my opinion, for me, that scared me, like, even in my bed while I'm trying to sleep, I'm looking at, like, the closet, because I'm like, dude, I don't want to see that thing. And it's like, with this, with the Celis's body, it's like, okay, so what? She's just gonna come in my room and stand there and tell me to help her? And I mean, I guess I'd be a little freaked out, but as soon as she didn't do anything, I'd be like, do something? Like, anyways, 1 for me, 5 if it's your kind of horror. Great author, writing greatly, just not my speed.